Salutes to Heck, because I seen this one floating around, and I do want to keep some some different things. So investigating the hidden secrets of Area 52. This is Tommy G. 32 seconds. I'm gonna put it on 1.25.
So that called mutual security.
That's not a good sound.
Isn't it weird to imagine that we could literally be 15 to 20 miles away from definitive proof that we're not alone?
What was this being wearing?
Military uniform just like mine, but it was very, very clean.
We're very close to going to prison right now, that's for sure.
More security.
More security right now.
Today, ladies and gents, we wrestle with some of the wildest questions and mysteries of our time, such as, are aliens real? Are UFOs cutting-edge technology from Earth or perhaps from another planet? Why is Area 51 one of the most secretive bases in the country? And what is it that our government is hiding from us? In order to uncover the truth, we assembled a powerhouse team. First up, James Fox. This man is arguably the world's premier expert on UFOs and alien encounters. He's dedicated the last 30 years of his life investigating these claims, digging deeper than perhaps any human alive today. Next, we speak to Jason Sands, an Area 51 insider and employee turned whistleblower who gives us his first-hand testimony of his experience. Then we got Avi Loeb, a Harvard professor, astrophysicist, and one of the brightest minds on the hunt for extraterrestrial technology. And finally, we speak to various people who claim to have had alien experiences themselves. In this episode, we infiltrate the legendary Area 51, both under the cover of darkness and in broad daylight. And you'll have to stay to the end of the episode to see what we did and what happened to us after we breached security and set off the alarms. Join us today as we tackle one of humanity's greatest questions. Are we truly alone here on Earth, or do we have visitors from other galaxies walking among us? The truth, folks, might be stranger than anything we ever imagined. Let's dive in. Folks, two things before we get started. First, the merch is back in stock, including the sweatshirt that had sold out repeatedly. We put them back in stock, added a new color. We got the trucker hats, the t-shirts, and also, if you would like early and exclusive access to our Scientology series, including our pushing match with their private security at their celebrity center. Whoa. Wait, where's the private property line? Where's the line?
You need to leave right now.
Don't
It's
touch
private
me.
property.
Don't touch me.
Private property, you need to leave right now.
That is available only at Patreon. Become a subscriber and be the one to see it first. And now, folks, to the video. We're in the Wild West right now, folks. It's breathtaking what we're driving through right now on our way to the Alien, which is a motel in the Area 51 network. What is Area 51? Is it a place that aliens were brought to and
First and foremost, Area 51. What's y'all thoughts on that? Like, do y'all think it's you think it's legitimate, or do you think it's fake? Me personally, I believe in aliens, bro. I ain't gonna lie. And then second, I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of like, I think some shit going on. They ain't telling us. I got my tinfoil on. Area 51 is really just a strip club for the government officials that live double lives. That's why can't nobody go. I mean, yeah. I mean, I'll tell you this. I don't know how much I believe in Area 51 being where the answer is at, but bro, it's just too big. Like, it's too big. This is my issue. It's too big of a universe for there not to be something. At the same time, like, and all that, these videos of things floating around be throwing me off as well. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm very curious about Area 51.
interrogated and questioned to figure out more and kept from the public?
Exactly, Quit. That's where I'm at. I think that they're real, but I don't believe Area 51 is what we think. Yeah, I think that's where basically all of our like military stuff goes, so that no other country can like spy on us or copy or know what we're doing. So I do think there's things there and there's technology there that we probably don't know about, because it's like like I think that's where like all the testing goes for new aircrafts and new weapons, and that's where all the testing is. That way, like a country like China or these other countries won't know what's going on. Let me see, where is Area 51 again? Is it like it's in Nevada, right? Yeah. So you got Nevada, which is kind of close to the coast, but it's a little bit inwards. But you got this massive area of just desert where you can pretty much do stuff that won't affect that many people. Let me see, how close is the next city from Area 51? The closest town to Area 51 is Rachel, Nevada. It's located on the extraterrestrial highway around 25 miles south. So you got 25-mile radius of nothing that you could just do what the fuck you want to do. And I think they're doing testing of stuff that we don't supposed to know about.
Place that's so remote and so out there that it's an excellent place to develop top-of-the-line military technology,
It's in
run exercises.
Vegas.
Maybe they got a CIA black site somewhere out there. I mean, it would be a perfect place. You just blindfold a guy and take him 2 hours down the highway from Las Vegas. No one's finding you. Alien Fresh Jerky, man. How much better of a sponsor can you even get in a video? Going to Area 51 eating alien beef jerky, and damn, it's good. If you would like to try some of this delicious jerky for yourself, simply head to their website, link in pinned comments, and use my code TommyG for 15% off your entire order. My personal favorite was their Roadkill Original and their Pineapple Teriyaki. It was delicious, and I think you'll love it. We're already actually through a couple bags. There's a lot of great excitement in my heart right now. We're meeting up with a world-renowned UFO UAP expert, James Fox. About an hour and a half away. We'll enjoy this road trip, and we'll see you guys in a few. So we're halfway to the alien, and already you can tell there's an alien culture that just permeates around here. The gas stations have aliens in them. It's just so remote. I feel like this is just one of those bizarre places where everyone has some sort of story where they saw this thing in the air. Heck, I have one of those stories. I remember in high school, we were in the back hill in this retention pond. If I had my old phone, I got it on my phone. Like, there was something moving in the air, and I saw it. Like, I know what I saw. Who knows what the explanation is? Let's keep driving. So we're pulling up into a town, the town of Rachel, Nevada, that has 19 people. We're gonna
See? That's the city we just named right there, Rachel, Nevada, which is 25 miles north, and there's only 19 people there. So that's even more of a like ain't nobody there shit. The people that live in Rachel might be the people that work in Area 51.
meet our alien expert friend James and just get the lay of the land here. We arrived late in the night at the Alien, and they had a strict no filming policy. So we went nearby to the town's only gas station to meet our contact James Fox and make a game plan for the rest of the night. We were about to tuck in and go to bed.
Yes.
And you said you have another idea.
Yes. There's no better time than the present. And we're out here, and we're not going to see anything if we don't try. Let's take our asses out to as close to the base as we can possibly get to without risk of being arrested and or shot. The use of deadly force is authorized, so
Kill on sight.
It's real. They're not around. If you were to hide super secret craft of non-human origin anywhere on Earth, when you come out here, you can see this would be the perfect place to do it.
Is it fair to say this is one of the most top secret places on Earth?
This is the most top secret place on Earth, yes. Right now, we're going to go out to probably the most famous mailbox in history. It was the infamous Black Mailbox. And it became so famous because when you get to the Black Mailbox, you'll see a dirt road. It's completely unmarked. There's no road signs. You turn off, and that's the point where you go in on the dirt road to the base for about 20 minutes. And then you get to a sign that basically, and you'll see security. Like if you go beyond that sign, all bets are off. So the Black Mailbox, I think, got so famous that it might have been stolen. I heard it might have been recently replaced. We're going to find out right now.
Is that our first destination?
That's our
Black
first
Mailbox?
destination, yes.
We're gonna hop in.
Let's go.
Trying to find an entrance to Area 51 can be very difficult. Your phone likely won't have service as you're near it. Some say it's the government jamming your signal. Just a black box? So this doesn't even exist.
Google Maps just said nah.
Others say it's just the remoteness of the location. The easiest way to spot a route into Area 51 is the infamous Black Mailbox. It marks one of the roads that can lead you in. However, tonight, we suspected that the box had either been taken down or stolen because we simply could not find it.
I ain't gonna lie, I wouldn't mind doing something like this.
Is it?
Tommy G, come in, over.
Gang, gang, baby, we're ready to slide the block.
We're gonna drive down this dirt road until we get arrested. Over. Just kidding.
Did we miss the mailbox, or is that still ahead?
I think we missed it. We'll see a dirt road connecting to this road in the next mile or so on the right-hand side. Over. Turn our lights out. They've never known we were coming. Over. Isn't it weird to imagine that we could literally be 15 to 20 miles away from definitive proof that we're not alone?
15 to 20 minutes away from information that could change the entire world.
Yep.
What has motivated you to dedicate your entire adult?
This is the thing though about these shows, and even this guy, but salute to Tommy G for making the content because the content matter. But like these remind me of the shows on History Channel and all that, and Discovery. Is Bigfoot real or aliens real? And it's like these shows. Well, we'll fit that. You never get the answer. There's never the answer. There's never the proof. There's never the, actual thing. It's always like, it's been sightings. Is Bigfoot real? This and that. Find out on River Monsters. Like that, and then you watch but salute to River Monsters because River Monsters, a lot of that shit be real. Like the people in the town say like this thing, and then that dude be catching that shit. But this is cap.
life to chasing down and researching these things.
Imagine if our government had definitive proof that we're not alone in the universe, whether you believe it or not. But if you felt that was true, could you just walk away easily from that story? I feel that every man, woman, and child has a right to know, and I feel it's an incredibly important and significant piece of the puzzle, and it's difficult to walk away from.
I have to give huge credit today to my friend, Julian Dory. He is the key behind all of this happening, the connection to James Fox. He was the key behind the Trump assassination video, and he's the key behind the Scientology video that we have in the works as well. To show love to Julian, links in the description, blow him up, comment big dog, gotta eat, and thank you, Julian.
Guys, do you see that red light off in the distance, kind of at our 1 o'clock?
Yes.
So that's apparently got all sorts of sensors, including video. They're watching us come in right now. This is security. This is definitely security up there. No question, over.
If you are considering trespassing on the Nevada Test and Training Range boundary, please consider the following consequences. You will be required to pay a $1,000 fine. You will have your car towed at your expense. You will have your car impounded at your expense. You will be brought to HICO, Nevada to be processed. Once released, you will be responsible for transportation, blah, blah, blah. Now, my question is it telling us not to go beyond this point? Or can we go a little further until... I think we go a little further.
Oh, he's moving.
That guy's watching us. He's listening to us too, I'm sure of it.
You think they have
Sure
that
of
level of technology? That
Absolutely.
what
yes.
makes you sure of that?
Because I've heard about it. They can just point and they can listen. Georgia Knapp's doc.
There is a thing like that though. I've seen it before. There's like this is like a gun that has like a satellite on it, and you could point it towards something and you could pick it up. And I'm not saying that's like some Area 51 stuff. It's just like a let me see. See here, distances. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find it, but it's this thing, I think. This thing right here. It's something
difference from it at the same. Yeah, now we can clearly hear that Cognizant is hiring.
See, yeah.
So we tested the parabolic.
I've seen that before.
Documented that.
Folks, we gotta pay homage to the legendary Las Vegas journalist George Knapp. In 1989, George broke the story on Area 51 and brought its existence to the public eye. His interview with Bob Lazar, who claimed to have worked on reverse engineering alien technology, invited a firestorm of speculation, forever linking Area 51 to extraterrestrial secrets. George's fearless reporting forced the government to acknowledge the base's existence, and it laid the groundwork for decades of UFO investigations. Without him, the legend of Area 51 might still be a secret.
James, you want to go say hi to the scary man? You want to go say hi?
I mean, I want to. I want to see who that is.
This is the gate. This is the next layer.
Oh, he's coming down to us right now, over.
They say that there are only two guarantees in life: death and taxes.
Yeah.
I think the third is we go beyond that sign, we go to jail and or get shot. What we know about this base is you can tell, like we just drove in down 30 miles of dirt road to get here. You just simply can't imagine just how remote this place is until you come out here and see it in person. It just doesn't.
That's what I was saying.
And the
Yeah,
level of
30
secrecy.
miles of dirt
just the
road.
remoteness and secrecy.
He said
When you
30.
finally do find the edge, you still
He said 30 miles of dirt road.
barely see anything except for barbed wire tracking all through the grass, the signs, the gates. Are these guys special forces? Are they mercenaries? Who are the people patrolling the base?
They're usually the people that are from special forces. They hire them up and they arm them and they tell them that, this is the way we do business for the program, and off they go.
What kind of power are they authorized to use on someone that's going towards the base?
They're authorized lethal force.
This base got a lot of attention in the late 80s when that guy Bob Lazar came forward through George Knapp. It was initially as a incognito, anonymously he came forward, and then ultimately because for fear of his life. He was saying that there were craft of non-human intelligence in the possession of the military, and they were being housed by Papoose Lake in a series of camouflaged hangars that were built into the side of the mountain. They have no wings. They have no tail. They have no visible means of propulsion. They make no sound. They don't have any air disturbance. Very little noise. Some people will talk about a slight buzzing or humming sound within a certain proximity of them. They do things that are just defy physics as we understand it, right? You would want to keep that technology ultra secret because you'd want to weaponize it just a few miles down the road.
Here's the thing, right? Let's be 1,000. This is my thought, and I'm just going to be out of pocket with it. But, like, Area 51, who is running that? Obviously, I would think the military or the government. And with Trump being in office, that man Trump trying to, that man Trump obviously knows what's going on. I would think that every president before him would know what's going on up there. I feel like by now that shit would have been revealed if it was something crazy. Even then, like, I mean, I don't know. Maybe Trump been putting out JFK's like paperwork, and I think he's gonna put out I think they put MLK's out as well. But I'm just curious to know, like, I love the lore and the suspicion of it being something, but at the same time, I don't know if I believe it to be anything but something more simple.
road the truth lies, right? The whole world wants to know what's going on out there.
Have we got anyone from this base that's active to speak anonymously?
Sorry, active?
But he worked at the base for some time.
He did, yeah.
In what capacity, do you know? In non-military lingo, how would you explain to a layman what your career consisted of?
It's like counterintelligence work where you're trying to prevent the enemy from finding out about what you're doing.
How long did you serve on that base?
I was there for 6 years.
Tell us about the morning of the encounter. What happened?
Well, we went up range. We had to look at a video of the UFO that came in and entered into the Nellis test range from the previous week because they didn't know what it was, so they were just trying to get people to observe it and verify that, yeah, this is something that we didn't see, because you're talking to anybody on my crew. We've been there for years. We'd seen all kinds of aircraft, and this didn't fit anything that we'd seen on the video. So this is what recorded the UFO also.
So a UFO crash lands on the base, and they wait until the Monday crew comes in to look into it?
Pretty much, that's what it seems to have happened.
This is a sign.
Oh, he just honked us.
He just honked.
He probably thinks this is
Would he have honked?
Dude, he fought. Yeah,
Is
I know.
he hearing us? Well, hang on. I'm just asking.
Yeah, wait. What did he say? What did he say?
Hang on.
Honk if you can hear us.
Okay, we're about to drive up this road. Are you going to arrest us if we do so? Honk, please. We're good.
This moment of Area 51 exploration is brought to you by Alien Jerky. If you're about to go to federal prison, first get this flavor in your mouth as well as this flavor. And you know what? Why didn't we think of it? We're gonna bribe the guard with this. Too.
Oh yeah. Well, we talked to this guy earlier today, and he's like, yeah, when I worked there, he goes, they'll just blast you. I was like, they'll just blast you? And he's like, yeah, they'll just take you out. Like, we're authorized to kill.
You know what I think that means? Let's explore a little further.
All right, what I'm trying to do right now is I just want to see where the barbed wire is. Where is the barbed wire, guys? Man, you can't even tell. We're very close to going to prison right now, that's for sure. Guys, here comes more security.
More security.
More security right now.
Holy shit. Truck's coming up. Look at that.
Yep.
Holy shit.
He's coming quickly, too.
Look how f***ing windy it is, dude. It's cold, desolate, and there's government forces assembling right now.
I know. They're letting us know that they know that we are right here. The question is...
They're going together.
I mean, one thing we can say for sure is we will all be going to jail if we cross the line. The question is, where exactly is the line?
The only way to do it is to walk up the barbed wire from the gate.
I've already walked. Well, you want to drive down there and see it?
Sure.
All right.
So look,
Land Survey Monument.
That's just government bullshit to keep us off the land.
What happened next was strange. As we turned off our cameras to take a couple iPhone photos, we heard a noise, but not just any noise, one that had an eerie, metallic, and otherworldly sound. This is what followed immediately after.
I heard that. What the f*** are you hear?
It sounded like metallic, something big, metallic, and somewhat loud. I thought someone was coming.
You heard it?
You heard it?
You heard it? Are you sure that wasn't my car?
Yes. Came from right over there. No question. Well, you know, I told you guys they had a 99% chance of seeing security, and we saw security.
We're gonna fold our cards for tonight in case they have any devices that can hear us.
Oh, they can hear us.
We just want to know the truth! Can you hear us? I have some beef jerky I can offer you! I repeat, I said beef jerky! I don't know if it's working. What we're dealing with right now is, like, there's so much disorientation and trickery that happens, like, hearing certain noises. Like they said they heard this metallic thud. Was it the sign rattling, or was it a secret thing happening in the background? I mean, and that's how these stories get convoluted when it comes to the supernatural or the UFOs, or, you know, there's a lot of explanations for the same thing. So, like, in diving into the truth of these stories, you have to figure out how credible someone's testimony is, and it's been proven that eyewitness testimony actually isn't even that accurate. But when you have multiple eyewitnesses independently corroborating a story, that story becomes more and more airtight.
Yeah. Bruh. So wait, did they go back during the day?
So we're going to the Alamo Inn, about 40 miles away, and kind of the other side of Area 51. There's the Alien, the Alamo Inn, and kind of if you go in between them, that's where you can go on the road to the back way of Area 51. And we're gonna talk to the motel owner and actually stay there the night. And this guy, his dad worked on the base. At both of these inns, everyone in the community seems to know someone that has had an experience or seen something or knows something. So this is a obvious and good place to go for this investigation. All right, folks, we're pulling up to the most famous mailbox in the world. We'll tell the people what we're looking at right now.
So this is the remnants of what was once the black mailbox. Because of the nature of secrecy of the space, there's no road signs, there's no indication of where the entry point is to Area 51. There was this black mailbox to a rancher who lives probably at that ranch out there. This mailbox became the beacon of like the entry point to go in to check out Area 51. And so everyone's just like, turn right at the mailbox or turn left at the mailbox. Like that's the dirt road into Area 51. It became just super famous, the most famous mailbox on the planet.
Also, I want to draw our attention to there's mountain ranges everywhere we can look, and these are also vantage points.
Yeah.
And Chuck Clark spent his life documenting these vantage points, and one by one, the government shut them down.
Yes.
So what do you mean you shut down
His
a
place
mountain?
his place got raided. He was raided right here in Rachel, and George Knapp covered the story at the time.
The story goes with Chuck that he allegedly got his hands on footage of an alien encounter so good, so compelling, that Logan Paul drove to his house with $100,000 cash to try and buy the video, but Chuck refused. It goes without saying that research from guys like Chuck Clark are foundational and lay the groundwork that allow me to continue to explore the mystery of Area 51 further.
$100,000, you ain't got it.
One of my favorite close encounters of the third
Rob
kind
Zilla was
in the
good,
United
man.
States took place in the desert of New Mexico in 1964 that involved an
Good to see you,
on-duty police
sir.
officer by the name of Lonnie Zamora. And the Air Force files during the peak of Project Blue Book investigations have detailed diagrams and of the craft where it landed, the landing gear impressions, photographs of the landing gear impressions, the footprints from the alleged creatures. Very detailed report in Project Blue Book phone files.
We're having a local pull up that his parents had an encounter with a non-human being right in this area in the 90s. So we're going to get to hear the story from him and see what we make of it.
This is a story that my parents passed on to me. My dad was born and raised here in this valley, in Paranga Valley. He worked out at the test site in Area 51 for a good portion of his life. You know, because he mainly worked on the test site side when they were doing the nuclear testing. He drove the trains and everything that went down inside the tunnels and that where they'd set the bombs off and that. And then when they shut that down, then he moved over to the Area 51 side. So we're all traveling on the road. We see this guy starting to kind of hail us and starts jogging towards us, but he's walking running very funny. It looked like he was going to fall over. And
Doing good, man. Just reacting to some
I'm
content.
wondering what's wrong with him. And then as we get a bit closer, I'm starting to notice that he's got very pale skin, but it's got this blue undertone like he's hypothermic. We get to the point where he's at the corner of the front of the vehicle, and the guy in the passenger seat in the front screams he's got no ears. And I'm thinking, well, that's pretty rude. Why would he say that? And then I'm stepping out onto the roadway, and I look up, and indeed he has no ears. And I'm thinking, good grief, this is really strange.
Both your parents had an encounter on this road.
Yes, they were coming down this road, coming over Hancock Summit here, coming back into town. They'd been out hunting or camping for the weekend, something. They were out in the hills playing around, which they like to do an awful lot. Mom says they come over the hill here, and he says you can see somebody walking down the road for quite a ways. It caught her eye. She's like, wow, what's somebody doing walking out in the middle of nowhere like this? As they got closer to it, she could see that it was dressed in, the way she describes it, is Bedouin clothing. So it was the flowing scarves and head covered and everything. Couldn't see anything other than the cloth that was around it.
What was this being wearing?
He was wearing a military uniform just like mine, but it was very, very clean. Then I noticed his eyes, and that's when I really got scared because the eyes were like twice as big. That's when he starts talking to me in another language. I don't know what it is, but somehow I'm understanding every word he says, even though it's a language I've never heard before. So
was it an audible language or was this telepathic?
It was both. He was speaking audibly to me, but at the same time, I think I telepathically understood the words. As they got closer to it, it stepped away from the road and crouched down, along the borrow area there. When it did that, my dad continued to drive past and she goes, hey, we ought to stop and see if they need help. And my dad just told her, no, you didn't see anything, and went on. And if you knew my dad, he's the last person in the world that's not going to stop and give somebody help, especially if they're out in the middle of nowhere, like this, not familiar with the surroundings.
Like, if aliens are real or creatures from another planet are real, why do you think your dad never wanted to talk about it?
I think that's what the oath he took, when he went to work out there, is that you couldn't talk about that stuff. And as he's walking away, I look back at my friends in the car, and they all look like they're zombies. This guy is not from this planet.
The thing is that like people do this for clout, people do this for money, but there's got to be some people that being just 100% honest of what they see. Not every one of these is fake, or but at the same time, people can see stuff that they think is legitimate and not real, really what they think it is. Like, I don't know, like what does this guy have to, let's take paying him, but that's what I'm saying, Craig.
When I saw his features on his face.
You gave testimony behind closed doors. Did you do that in a skiff, or where did you do it?
I did it in a skiff.
Okay, and so were there members of Congress or chiefs of staff, like who?
It was all the committee members, from the army.
One thing's confirmed: UFOs. What the UFOs are, that part we don't know. But unidentified objects or unidentified flying objects, because of the fact that was in Congress where they talked about that stuff, and even Trump, I think, released it or some shit, right? But they were in Congress talking about that. Like they just don't know what it is, what these things were.
Armed Forces committees.
What was the look on their faces when you started describing this alleged encounter with an alien?
Shock.
A lot of people that have had a sighting, an experience, are pretty quiet about it. They keep it tight to their chest. Why do you think that is?
I think that they're afraid of being judged, you know, because there's a lot of people you say, oh yeah, I had an encounter, you know, they're gonna go, ooh, you're crazy, you know, there's something wrong with this person.
What was the moment in your career where you said, I think we might not be alone?
October 19th, 2017. The first interstellar object was spotted by a telescope in Hawaii called Pan-STARRS. It was given the name Oumuamua, which means a scout in the Hawaiian language. This was the first object identified as coming close to Earth from outside the solar system. It was roughly the size of a football field, flat object, pancake-shaped.
We're gearing up to hit Area 51 from another angle, and it went from being a beautiful, clear sky day that we were getting shots to we're stuck in a cloud. And I think it just goes to show the desert is a place that is magic tricks. Mother Nature plays magic tricks with the desert. No wonder people see bizarre shit, like just things get obscured in the desert, whether it's the mirage or the weather change.
Government vehicles. There are a lot of the same vehicles. You see that?
Is there another exit of the base that they're coming from that we don't know about?
I've never been down this one. I've only been down that one. I've heard about this one. I don't know.
But there's a parade of those have to be government vehicles that are coming by.
At around 5:30 p.m., at least 5 days a week, possibly 7, you'll see these white buses with no markings, with blacked out windows.
That's kind of Scientology-esque. That's what we just encountered recently.
Barreling out of this place, down this long dirt road, headed east. And then they get to 375, and then they head south, probably going to Vegas.
I'm no expert in the driving habits of feds, but it seemed to me we were witnessing a convoy of Fed vehicles leaving Area 51. And for some reason, seeing all those Feds grouped together, it just felt spooky to me.
Yep, there's at least 2.
Now that's Area
Looks like
50.
we got 2.
That's what I would expect from Area 51.
One disappearing into the clouds. Can you describe some of the technology at the base? Like, how much more advanced is it than the public perception of what our technology is?
I don't want to get into specifics, but it's hundreds of years.
Hundreds of years ahead of what we think is happening?
Yes.
So I think part of the question is this just high-level military technology that they don't want other people to get their hands on? Or did they get some of this technology, the way things move, the way they turn, stop, that seem to defy our typical engineering and physics? Did they get that from alien crafts? An alien craft crashes, they have the best engineers in the country examine it and try to re-engineer it. Is that what's happening at Area 51? Or is this shit just so advanced and they just haven't released it to the public? Our conception of what is possible is 60 years in the past, 50 years in the past, and they just haven't shown us the good shit because, well, it's a tactical advantage in war. It's all possible.
I had not gone to this entry point yet.
Okay.
So this is new for me. All right, you guys want to follow me?
Damn, is it snowing over there?
Mutual security.
God damn it.
Redacted.
Look, now it's going.
Not permitted beyond this point.
So we almost take the capture.
You just literally... Dude.
That's not a good sound.
Should we get the fuck out of here? Let's get the fuck out of here. That's push. Like, are we being posted for leaving after that?
No, they were trying to trap us. They were...
Who's this guy fucking going backwards?
What the fuck?
Lucky over here going backwards, trying to get us. What the fuck is this guy doing? Is this guy on meth? What the fuck?
What the fuck?
This guy's going pretty fast backwards. We're going 45 miles an hour and he's beating us right now. What the hell is this guy doing?
You're just trespassing on federal property.
You know that
I would have stopped and looked at that motherfucker.
You can go into a gate and then they close a barrier behind you.
That's an entrapment, yes.
What happens if you get stuck in that?
That's the way for them to keep your vehicle and yourselves from going any further. And they will draw their weapons on you, and they will tell you, okay, you're coming with us. They'll take all your equipment, they'll dismantle your car, look at all of your cameras, look at all your film, they will confiscate everything, and you'll be lucky if you get your car back in a crate later on, let alone whether you'll be serving jail time in one of their facilities right there on the site.
Holy shit, that was great. So you think we would have been trapped if we didn't if Keegan didn't remind me to back up?
Hell yeah, they would have locked you in there. 100%. 100%.
I would have got the car and fucking dipped. So that's a vantage point.
Oh, I did a big fan throw.
Oh, look at that view. But you still can't see the base even if it does clear?
No, I mean, yeah. Well, you can see just above it. So if there's any activity, you can see it from here, but you just can't like see the actual base. You see just above it.
So folks, we took a deep dive into some of the claims, some of the people that have worked there, people that have experienced things, and I have to say some of this is quite compelling. When you hear Congress people talking about this, you know something is serious. And let me know what you guys think. You guys believers? Are you guys skeptics? Are you guys open to the possibility that this is real? It's been a pleasure taking this deep dive with you. I appreciate you, James. Go out there, watch his video. You can stream it, you can rent it. If you want to take this much, much further, this was a couple-day investigation. He's dedicated 30 years of his life to looking into this and made multiple documentaries on the subject. One of the world's renowned experts in the field. So if you want to take a deeper dive into that, his links into his documentaries are in the description. Rent them, stream them, check them out, and explore for yourself. And you determine what you think is true. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you next week.
Okay. Interesting. Salutes to Andrew in the building. 28 months. 28 months, man.